organizational organizations. I'll just take one moment to add a line of introduction to Sir. Sir is the RP expert with Valco United. Sir is joining us from Geneva, Switzerland. So we are having a session with him. It will be an online session, and we are going to have interaction with Sir. We welcome you, Sir.
Thank you, Sanjay. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible. And is the audience visible to you?
Yes, it is. Okay.
Thanks. Over to you.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. So I'm in a different time zone. So first of all, thanks to Sanjay for inviting me for this, and thanks to Dr. Anand for having the first session. Good Simran for the beautiful session on the sports. I hope you will enjoy further that you are going to have a game, I'm told. So I think what is the better use of the day than actually playing the game in this sports session? Okay, so I will. So this session is like a integrated session. So the whole idea of behind this small workshop, conference, whatever you like to call it, it is to understand that there are a lot of aspects of intellectual property which lies when you go to the field of sports. And this year, as my previous speakers have mentioned multiple points, that we have theme of WIPO for this year is going to be about ready, set, and go, which is on sports. So every year, WIPO, which is World Intellectual Property Organization, a UN agency, I work with them. So they set up a theme, and what is the reason behind this theme is to actually promote the concept of different subjects, different topics under the preview of intellectual property rights. So this year the theme is sports. So we have named the workshop as Boardroom to Bootroom because we wanted to connect that how the industry works, how the business works around the field of sports. So sport, I don't need to tell you, but it is one of the most revenue generating streams of businesses across the world. And in India also, it is becoming very prominent, especially with the cricket and other sports also. So we have this huge IPL teams. We have other avenues of cricket league, of Kushti league, and football league, and whatnot, right? So we have so many players who are coming up into the field of sports and making a mark. So when a sports person wins tennis, there are universities, there are colleges, there are schools, there are academies who start that particular profession, and they start those academies within the campuses, and students will enroll, kids will enroll, and they will earn a lot of revenue out of it. So that is only one way to look at it. If somebody won a medal in swimming, maybe there are hundreds of academies that would have opened to promote that further. When we have somebody got gold medals, silver medals in Olympics, in Commonwealth Games, in Asiad Games, and all of it, we have some movies who were made out of it, right? Can somebody name a movie which was made particularly on a sport recently, a few years ago?
Dangal Sultan.
Dangal. Okay, Sultan. Yeah, right. So we had the sport, somebody was playing the sport, but then somebody chose that, okay, can we make a movie out of it? So how does that work out? Who will own the intellectual property? Who will actually own the rights to that movie, to that story? So that is something that we have to discuss, and that is something that we have to come into play. So what do you think? Can anybody suggest whom this particular movie or this dialogues or this screenplay or the production, who it will belong to? Whether it will belong to the person who was the sports person who for which the story was written, or will it belong to the actor, the Amir Khan, or suppose it is Mary Com's story and then it will belong to Priyanka Chopra, whom it will belong to? What do you think? Can you speak a bit louder?
It's a production house. It is making
Production.
We are saying production house.
Okay, production house. So then why would somebody, sports person like Mary Kom would give her story to Priyanka Chopra or whoever made that movie? Priyanka Chopra was the actor, but why they would give that? Why they would be allowing somebody to make a movie out of their own story, their life story? It may have good things, it may have bad things, both, right?
World get recognized, like in the movie, they are properly legally recognized their work. They are mentioning specifically that the story belongs to so and so, like a sportsman or what is
So just for publicity, just for publicity.
माइक का इशू है आवाज साइड नहीं जा रही है
Mehul, can you translate it? The answer?
Sir, they are just
they are saying royalty and recognition.
Royalty and recognition, sir.
Okay. So what is royalty? What is that royalty?
Getting money out of your work, like if you are allowing someone to use your work, like in return of this work, you are getting some money or.
Certain amount of money he's saying.
Okay. So it could be some agreed amount of money that in return of their story, they would be paid so much of money, right? Something like that. Or there would be some percentage, there could be some royalty, there could be some agreed price, there could be a metric that if the movie performs like this, you will be paid this much. If the movie is really a worldwide success, you'll be paid higher, something like that. So it could be any such combination. That is, so all that work is done by lawyers like us, right? Lawyers like me, the guy, the audience who is sitting in the room, right? So when we understand this perspective, that is the way that we have to act in the as if we are if we are either representing the company or we are representing the sports person, whosoever is your client, right? So you have to think it from that perspective. So yeah, what do you see on your screen? What do you think?
Logo and trademark.
Logo and trademark.
No, what it is about. Forget, don't be the lawyer. First tell me what do you see on the screen.
One is ideal, all and another one is Jordan Nike.
Okay. Nike Jordan shoes. And
They are saying FIFA World Cup, Nike, Jordan, and IPL.
okay, good. So just by the look of it, you could identify it, right? So that is intellectual property. So we have the Jordan shoe. You know about the Jordan shoe story? So all these are subject to intellectual property. How? We'll discuss. So a shoe can be protected under various kinds of intellectual property rights. The very first one is could be patents, that which technology was used to develop it. They could be machinery, they could be supply chain, they could be the material of the shoe, they could be fabric, they could be polyester, they could be some kind of plastic, right? Some kind of PVC, plastic, foam, or whatever is the material. So that material can be a patented subject. That manufacturing technique can be a patent subject. The machinery which is used to make the shoe, it can have multiple thousands. It could have even thousands of patents, right, on various aspects of it, how the machinery works. The overall look and feel, the design is the aspect which can be protected in the industrial design. It can have trademark, of course, because whatever brand is going to launch their shoe will have the trademark. Now it can have a trademark for the brand, plus it can have a trademark for the actual name of the shoe, like in case of Jordan shoes or in case of any other shoe. If you go to a Bata showroom in India, or you go to Liberty or Reebok internationally, anywhere. So you will have a brand, which is the shoe brand, then it has a brand which is the series brand. Like this series belongs to this particular article, right? So those kind of trademarks can be there, and there could be other kind of reputation material which can be associated with it. It can be it could have been manufactured in one particular nation or one particular factory which is very famous globally. Copyrights, any kind of artwork, audiovisuals, creations, advertisements, plus it can have some design elements which can be artwork, right? So you can have some, for kids you have very special designs, for adults, for girls you have even far more better designs, right? So all of these are subject to intellectual property, and we are seeing just the shoe, but behind the shoe, behind one article, you can have hundreds and hundreds of intellectual property which could support the manufacturing, the selling, the buying, the importing, exporting, all that processes. So one product, one article can have a series of intellectual property, several of intellectual property resting behind that particular thing. Now, if we open up any article like that, suppose you have a tennis racket. So the tennis racket will have a particular kind of polyester thread. It will have a particular kind of material of for the frame, because it has to be lightweight. It has to have strength. That's why you have these rackets which you could buy for 300 rupees and also for $300,000. Okay, for the same kind of it functions the same, but at the end the quality matters and the technology behind that matters, and that's how the pricing differs a lot in that case. So one product can have so much of IP behind it. So, what are the different aspects of intellectual property? So we have athletes who will have players and talent, coaches, staff. All of that will be subject to personality rights actions. At some of my previous speakers touched base upon that topic. You have teams and leagues, like you have IPL teams. You have different leagues. They will have a brand, their own format, their own dressing, their own design, their own articles, and their own methods of governance, methods of playing, methods of executing something. So all of this can be subject to intellectual property. Then you would have seen that when a cricket ball is thrown, automatically in any cricket match, you will see that hundreds of dimensions of the balls are calculated. It is displayed automatically. So that is all analytics. So all that analytics is resting behind some data, and that data is processed into a system. That system is the intellectual property of some company, some brand, some product. So all of that analytics and all of that stat is definitely part of the intellectual property rights. Then when you have a live match, you have highlights, or even if you're accessing the archives, all of that can be subject to various subject to technology. It could involve satellite technology. It could involve TV visuals, audio visuals, internet capacity. There are hundreds of technology behind that to make it happen. So live program doesn't happen like that. If you just open the camera, which is actually shooting the live scenario or a match, it may have that particular camera. Suppose it is a Nikon camera. Nikon itself has about 3,000 patents on that particular camera, on various aspects of the camera, how to stand it, how it will go in that particular weather, what is the lens, how the focal length is calculated, how the image is captured, how it is connected to internet, how it is connected to other kind of SCADA systems or any other kind of monitoring systems, how it is connected to TV, how it is connected to live, how now when it is connected to YouTube, that YouTube itself may have hundreds of patents on protecting the technology that they have created, right? So if you keep on adding and adding more and more features, and those features are actually intellectual property of some or the other organization. It may not belong to one company or one person. That's why when you have this media right, when you have this publicity, when you have this advertisement, there are a lot of companies which are named behind it, right? So because all of these are partners to that particular execution, so that's why that intellectual property belongs to multiple people, and all of those will be contributing to the success of that particular match, contributing to the display and assimilation or distribution of that particular event. You have sponsors and brands. You would have seen that in all matches, people, sportsmen, they wear their jersey, and that jersey has a lot of brands. And some brand is posted in the front, some brand is posted in the back, something is on the left shoulder, something on the right shoulder, something is on the pads, something is on the shoes, right? So all of that has different pricing because of different appeal plus different user that how the user can see it and how much the user can see it, right? So all of that are subject to intellectual property. You have fans and communities. Lots of communities are built up over a period of time. You have YouTube channels, bloggers, you have articles, you have magazines, you have books, which is very prominent and very useful to discuss the success of an event or the failure of a sports event, anything like that. So all of those are also respective copyrights or trademarks or designs which are there. Merchandise. You can go and buy, if you imagine just 5 or 10 years ago, you would have seen people appearing up in their own clothes, in their own dresses in the in any match. But right now, I would say over 90% wear the particular brand or wear the particular jersey that they belong or they promote. So it is all intellectual property because now that jersey is controlled by a person, by a company. Only they can manufacture it and they can sell it at their own price. Revenue and monetization. So licensing royalties are one of the important aspects. Like you would have seen that this particular team was sold at so many crore rupees. This particular player was sold as 100 crore rupees or 50 crore rupees, like that. Media rights are different. They would have been sold at say $50 billion, $80 billion, $100 billion to anybody. So all of these are subject to intellectual property from various angles. We are just trying to collate that there are all lot of different aspects through which we can see it. So all of this is the value creation happens in intellectual property, and everybody is contributing to it, and everybody gets their cut, their share for the contribution that they have made. So what is the connector? You have ownership of a particular thing. So when you say that I'll again use the IPL team because it is the matches are running and people can associate with it very easily. So when you have ownership of a team, that team ownership belongs to a company or a group of companies. Those are contributed by players. The players are contributed by respective state board or country board or whatever is the board of cricket that happens, or in any case, in any country, how it works. So the entire ownership of respective trademarks, copyrights, their patents will come associated with that particular ownership. Now, if suppose you have media rights, so only the media rights are translated or they are transferred to one particular companies, for example, NDTV Sports or Star Sports or whatever. So those media rights will belong to this new company now. And only when the association happens, the organizer of IPL cannot say that, okay, I will also sell it to Star Sport, but I will also give a stream to another NDTV Sports or another ESPN Sports, because Star Sports has claimed an exclusive right over the entire media rights of that particular event. So that is the ownership, that how it matters. Even if Star Sports wants it, they may not be able to distribute it further because in agreement they will say that Star Sports has reached over 100 crore people, or it has reached over 300 crore people globally, and including the media rights, online, offline, electronic media, as well as the traditional media, all of this will belong to Star Sports. So that is how the agreement will be written. And in that agreement, the cost is accordingly calculated, because one company, if you hold every media right, and how much money is going to be paid over a period of time, that is also written in the agreement. Plus, if there is a revenue which is earned from the advertisement, from the selling of those rights, that revenue will belong to Star Sports now. That is why they have actually they are paying so much of money to this company IPL. So who has the control? The governance and operation management are all written in the agreements. Who has the exclusivity? That is written in the agreements, that for this territory, this company has the exclusivity agreement. This for this country, or this platform, this is the company who has the exclusive agreement. It may also happen that for example, Jio Hotstar has a lot of rights for IPL or for other matches. So all the electronic media or the digital media are distributed, but the paper media rights are given to somebody else, because this company is not into paper media. They are only into electronic media. So that kind of bifurcation can also happen. Now, accordingly, the company will monetize its assets. So the framework that is most important for this case is that you create the intellectual property, means you design your brand. Like suppose IPL is a brand, you have the format that how it will be played. There is an identity, there are jerseys, there are players, there are rules, there are different logos, there are different playing formats for that, and the data that how different teams have performed, how individual players have performed. So this is all part of first ecosystem, that how you create your intellectual property. Second part is the control of that, which is actually different because players may not be able to control the whole performance. Players may not be able to control the all of brand and other identity formats. That control will belong to some other company. For that format, they will have to register their rights. It can be IP rights, it can be personality rights, it can be trademark logos, it can be copyright, it can be patents, whatever is the subject of intellectual property. Then those rights are assigned under which format to a third company or to the players or to themselves, right? There are contracts on which this is written, and there is a governance mechanism through which this control is mandated. Third part is commercialization of it. Now you created the IP, you control the IP, and now there is a time that you can commercialize it. Now you will license it out to some other company. Like you will, IPL will give licensing of media rights to Jio Hotstar or Star Sports or anything like that. There can be a bundled right because you may deal with multiple rights together, or you may say that I will distribute all of these rights differently and I will assign them differently to different companies or to a same company. There is a price. They can be royalty, they can be percentages, they can be a flat price, or they can be a cap price, anything like that. And then you enforce it. You enforce mean that none of the company who got the material, who got the agreement signed, who got the contract, they should not be able to exploit it further. They should not be able to send it or share it with other companies, or they should not be able to exploit your own rights. So that enforcement is also ready and very important. Last is the scale. Now, when you scale it up to different territories, different platforms, different countries, or you say to different communities, so that scale comes at the end, and now you can actually make use of your contract and make use of all the processes in your favor. So this is the value chain that happens in the case of create, control, commercialization, and scaling. These are the four steps which are important for coming to different markets in the field of sports. Now, suppose what kind of rights it could be, right? So if you see on your screen, the very first image is a cycle. Now, there are various designs of cycle which are possible. So these designs can be converted into industrial designs. I hope all of you are aware of industrial design protection. The second image that you see on the screen is an app through which you can actually analyze where the ball went, how they're playing, how the players swing, what is the speed of kicking, and all of that format. So that is that could be a patent which is available here. The third one is the trademark of the company who made this particular ball. For example, Adidas. There's a sports live event, so that could be a media rights, broadcasting right that can happen. There's a co-branding which can happen in sponsorships, and at the end there's a dispute resolution mechanism which has to come into play. Now I'll just play you one of the very important events.
Michael will accept a $250,000 salary guaranteed, and the shoe will be named for Michael and our family.
What?
Yes.
Really? Great decision. You're not going to regret it. And I can give you my personal guarantee.
I'm not finished.
No, yeah, excuse me, sorry, go ahead.
Michael will get a percentage of the revenue of the sale of each shoe that is sold.
I'm sorry?
Not all Nike shoes, just the ones with his name on them.
Oh, Mrs. Jordan, so that's not how the business works. I mean, they invest the capital and they get the reward, and that's how it goes.
Maybe that needs to change. Because if he does what I think he's going to do, what you also think he's going to do, and what Michael knows he's going to do, then it won't be the NBA promoting my son. I promise you, it'll be the other way around. And in that case, he deserves a piece. My shoe is just a shoe until my son steps into it.
So this is the Michael Jordan shoe story. So this particular deal was one of the most celebrated deals in this history of sports. And in 1 year, in 2023 alone, now this is happening for decades, right? In 1 year alone, in 2023, they made about $6.6 billion only from the sale of this one shoe, which has Michael Jordan's name on it. So that is the power of intellectual property, that because of this deal, in every shoe that it is sold, it is always and always shared as a revenue with the family, with Michael Jordan's family. So in India, we have auctions and platforms and enforcement, I think most of us are very well aware of it, that how this works. So in 23-27 4-year deal, it was sold at 48,390 crores for the IPL media rights, only for the media rights of it. Now, why it is being done like that? Because of the audience, because people are looking for it, because people are paying for it. There are companies who would show their advertisement during the matches and they would pay heavy sum for that particular amount, right? Why? Because people are looking for it. People are actually spending time on it. So whatever business somebody can generate, this media rights will include that how much potential the business can generate, and accordingly they will set the price. And every year when this happens, this changes significantly. It is not just one time, two times, three times. Next time it happen, it could go like 2 lakh crore rupees also. We don't know, but it can happen anything. And there are many companies who would bid for it, and the most successful bidder will be the one who will bid the highest, right? So there are a lot of platforms and a lot of rights which are going into this way. We are just using one example. It is not the only example that is happening. In US, we have different brands. We have Jordan story that is happening up. In NCA, the athletic structure for the National Committee of Athletics. So they have over $600 million that they have been doing deals with different companies. Formula One is a very big name. I hope all of you are aware of it. They have huge order deal, and accordingly they also price every deal that they make on it. In Europe, you have the similar story. They have broadcasting packaging, you have country-wise packaging, you have, because Europe itself has more than 28 countries right now, but the broadcasting will happen to over 190 countries globally. So all that revenue is calculated accordingly. Now in China, China is also very prominent to sports. You would have seen Olympics. They are one of the largest tally holders. So there was a very famous case of misusing the Michael Jordan's name in the name of Quaidion. This is local name of Michael Jordan shoe in China. So they try to protect it. They try to exploit it. And but the courts within the China, the Supreme Court of China, so they actually recognize that it is not to be held with the company. It is the original creator whom this name will belong to. Even if it's a translation, it will belong to the original creator. So they protected billions of dollars in revenue for Nike in that process. So personal brand is that thing that is contributing to a success story. It offers monetization. It is always and always more than the performance, because you might be performing really bad, but over a period of time you would have gained that reputation, and that reputation helps you to secure a lot of revenue around your name. That is all around the personal brand. So you would see all the players, even if they are out of play or they are not playing anymore, they still have a great fan following and they still have a brand recognition, and they would still appear in advertisements in companies and places like that. So all of that is happening. Tech and data, as I mentioned, lot of inventions are happening across it. I'll just so there are a lot of VR, there are a lot of variables, the watches, the performance metrics, the analytics. All of these is subject to patent, and you have huge number of patents which are being filed in sports. A few weeks ago, the industry minister of India, he announced that all these sports related patenting will have no fees for a couple of years, meaning that you can file for a sports related patent and they will not charge any fees for it. The government will not charge any fees for it. The professional may charge fees for it to do it, but from government side, they're making it completely free. Okay. So how do we connect it? IP is an operating system behind the modern sport. You would have seen that a lot of action is happening in terms of ownership, in terms of control, in terms of exclusivity rights and monetization of all these assets. IP belongs to the person who is playing. IP belongs to the brand under which he is playing. IP belongs to the sport event it is playing, like IPL or FIFA or um, Wimbledon, anything like that. And IP belongs to the media who is displaying it, who is showing it, because at this moment, if you have 100 people watching the game, you have 100,000 people who are watching it online, right? So in all the aspects of it, IP plays a very significant part. How you can contribute? to this process. What are the careers for in sports and intellectual property? You can be a sports brand attorney. This is a very famous and very important career which is prominent in the West, but it is coming up in India because right now people are only doing as a lawyer. But if you become a specialist into sports and IP law, you have a lot of knowledge, you have a lot of royalty rates, you have a lot of inside information that how the deal should happen. So you can be that sports brand attorney who can protect the logos, the merchandise material, anything like that. You can be a licensing merchandising manager, which can deal in copyrights, in licensing, in royalties, in agreements, contracts, and all of it. You can be an athletic for the athlete, you can be an IP agent, right? As if you have a business agent for the athlete, but you can be IP agent because right now you have the name, image, and likeness, but there is something also called as personality rights of that person, which are people are copying it like anything, especially in the age of AI. You can just create an avatar and you can create some stories making use of the personality of the sports person. So that kind of careers you can have. You can have a IP, you can be a for the sports channel or for the sports media, you can be IP counsel. You can protect the game articles, skins, stadiums, and everything. You can be a pattern specialist, that how you can pattern a lot of devices, you can convert the variable devices, you can convert the trackers, you can convert the tech and data analyzers, softwares, all of it can be protected under it. You can be a broadcast piracy analyst because a lot of broadcast happens and it is recorded and it is pirated and send it at a lower cost or almost free of cost. So that is lost revenue. So you can be a very good specialist and like a cyber crime expert. You can do that. Most people think that sports careers are only about coaching or athletic training, but every time you buy a jersey or you go to see a match or you see it online or you see a live stream or you play a game on a video game or some kind of device, IP law is making that happen. Okay, so it means that in every transaction there is a scope for lawyers like you that who can contribute to the success and who can actually make that happen. So that is all from my side. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Do you have any questions? Ask something if you have asked.
Yes, any questions?
So for your inspiring quotes and valuable insights.
Okay, thank you.
Now coming to the wonderful session of the day, which we were waiting from the beginning of the day. Our outdoor team activity session is designed to bring out your leadership, teamwork, and strategic thinking. Because a great lawyer isn't just sharp in the courtroom, but also a team player in life. Get ready to think on your feet, engage your analytical mind, and discover how law plays out in real time and off the field. Now I request everyone to gather downstairs for the game session. Thank you, sir, from my side also. It was really an amazing session.